Good coffee morning, neighbors. So, back in 1980, when Ronald Reagan was elected, he brought with him a horde of evangelical politics, to be polite. I got out of the Marine Corps. I was planning to anyway, but that thing, that piece of actor trained by a monkey, Ronald Reagan, 1980 to whenever the hell, brought us Reaganomics and this trickle down wealth pig nonsense that we're suffering today. So behind him were evangelicals, very religious people, the Newt Gingriches of the world. I'll give Reagan credit. He did his wars underground. He abused our military and the CIA in ties to my fellow Marines, Navy SEALs. I've met Army, they should have combat medals for being in South America. This is the face of PTSD and the veterans I've crossed paths with over the 10 years here in Portland. Well, 7 years. So, what he brought with that religious nonsense was the evil we're suffering today. The hell they bring us today, the churn, the social churn. How a God gets to second guess the medical profession. How does that work? Pray tell. So, inside this Reagan era of covert wars, of bringing massive tons of drugs into America and then imprisoning the users, blaming people just in a bad place or the wrong place or doing what humans do. And we created for-profit prisons under their gods. 1980s, Ronald Reagan. Underneath this was the giveaway to faith. The giveaway. Faith wants to own all of the social structures. Which faith? Pick a state, pick a county. If they can't own it, they will destroy it. They will tear it down. They will make sure yours doesn't work. So this is the real world that's out there. Inside of this, though, Mr. Reagan had a wife named Nancy. Nancy had an astrologer that had more weight in the presidential cabinet than any squirrel should. So somehow, through the wars that the CIA, this is Oliver North, this is Newt Gingrich, this is the Freedom Cabal, this is that friggin' Tea Party nonsense reincarnated. Different names, same faces back there. Disgusting war pigs. So, stem cell research. 1980s. Stem cell research offshored. It moved. It left this nation because of the politics here, because of ignorance. This stem cell research that will create the solution for the virus that we're suffering. See, we don't need them. They just don't know it yet. So, lack of stem cell research in the U.S. This is why we go to China to do stem cell research. This is why Walter Reed, a military hospital, practically owns stem cell research in the U.S. in conjunction with wealthy corporations. Our military, our military spread so thin across American society, they've let this happen. Supply chains. So this DNA research, this stem cell research, this research using genetic materials that would otherwise be thrown away and discarded to further humanity itself, still is kind of important. Who is going to own it is kind of important. They want to create the dystopian futures presented in the movies. Let's not do that. So, early in the morning, seems I've got to do these rants. It's just something that needs to be done. Hopefully, when the chimpanzees and gorillas dig society back from the rubble, they find some footnotes. So what's next? Still voting Bernie. Bernie's voice. Bernie's supporters. People willing to stand next to Bernie. Because, he's a socialist, right? Because he said stuff. I don't like the way he said it. We'll do better.